We can, you can feel free to submit the questions on the group chat. We can also unmute you and allow you to ask a verbal question. And sometimes, Dr. Peloza, it'll take just a little while for some of those questions to roll in. And so while we're waiting, I was just going to ask you to maybe further expand upon, you were talking about a light touch, and you kind of mentioned it like, you know, like chopsticks. When, you know, once you get that down, how you're not going to use a heavy hand. Can you kind of expand upon that on how it can work against you if you do use a heavy hand or put that tip up against the bone hard and use a lot of force?
Yeah, initially when we had the first generation of burrs, you really had to hold on to them harder because they would skip a little bit when they hit bone. And it was a little, it just wasn't a smooth operation. So one of the engineering problem here is the amount of heat these instruments generate at that kind of RPM to cut the bone, particularly in a bayoneted drill and in a curved drill. So the engineers did a really great job in how they re-engineered it. So they controlled for the heat or the friction, and they made it so precise that we can now hold it with my thumb. I can with my thumb, index finger, and my middle finger, like I'm doing chopsticks, and just hold it with 3 fingers and just lightly move it back and forth. And you'll see, like when I'm moving the burr, I have an upward directed force, so it doesn't punch through or go anywhere I don't want it to go. And I think that was a huge improvement in the equipment, that you can have a light touch and just gently move things around instead of, you don't have to push or jab or struggle with it. It just opens right up.